or whatever,
Are
a
you
little
going
bit
to
of
send
nothing but a
me while
cute
you're
face,
there?
and you think you're
You
gonna go
going
up
to
against
send
the
me while you're
machine,
there?
and you got
Are you
men
getting
that wouldn't
something
even
to
do
eat
it?
while you're there?
Let me break it down. Some of y'all in relationships right now knowing you need to leave, but you still ain't left. But you on there telling Cassie should have left. Some of your mamas and daddies been getting slapped up for years. Mama still stayed. She may not have been scared of your daddy, but she got her ass whooped, and she still stayed for whatever reason. And some of y'all still stay. But everybody can say she should have left. Like it was just that easy. And then we get to the part where let's just call a thing a thing. A lot of people are mad because she got paid. People hate when other people get money. Oh, well, her. She got paid. Well, ain't that what you're supposed to do, quite honestly? Take it to civil court, then go to criminal court. We want both. The payment just ain't enough. Now, I get it. Some people saying, hey, Cassie was in on it. She ain't innocent. She needs to take accountability. Absolutely. All right. Well, let's call a thing a thing. Cassie was a little bit of a floozy. Okay? She wanted an opportunity. She was dating somebody that was 10 years older than her in the first place. She cheated on him, went to Diddy. We didn't say that she was perfect. But at that time, let's be clear here. She was still 19. What were you doing at 19?
She was 21. Why do they think she was 19?
Okay? So these men knew what they was doing. First of all, you 30 years old dating a 19-year-old, you gonna there wouldn't be a day in hell that I'm talking to a 19-year-old thinking that they not gonna cheat on me. That's what you do at 19. And then you're a pretty girl and you trying to maneuver and move your way up through the industry. Yeah, that's what happened. Let's be clear here. That 30-year-old man, he knew what he was doing. That 35-year-old man knew what he was doing when he got that 19-year-old girl. He wanted some arm candy. And should I take it a step further? Because people are saying, y'all not like this. Kathy was upset with Kim Porter. She was mad about the Kim Porter piece. Hell yeah, I should be mad about the Kim Porter piece. I'm not your freaking trophy, and I'm not your sex toy. For 11 years, my thing is take Kim Porter to the Met Gala. Be with her. But the problem is, Diddy used Kathy, and Kathy didn't realize it because she was still young and trying to get her things together. But at one point, she probably fell in love with the nigga. He had her signed under contract. But let's be clear, Kim was older. And she was dark-skinned. She could have been the love of your life, but you didn't want to be seen with her. That you couldn't flex Kim Porter in his mind.
I thought he was getting Wi-Fi.
You didn't feel like you wanted to take her to the Met Gala. You wanted to still, be the OG with the young, biracial girl. You wanted your trophy. And so Cassie quickly realized, oh my God, now I'm signed to this man. But that was just all a ploy to get me to be a sex bot. Now, mind you, I'm probably going for it because I'm like, I'm Diddy. Let's do it. I'm going to be his girlfriend. We flying out here and there. I'm not saying the girl didn't get horny, and she probably was with it from time to time. But at some point, even if I decided I wanted to do a freak off, that doesn't mean that because I wanted to do a freak off today and tomorrow, and maybe even the next day, that now I'm signing up for a freak off for the rest of my life for 11 years. Every now and then I might want to do a freak off, but not every week. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Meet Asana, a work management platform that helps companies get more done and save more time. Teams can stay connected while they track updates and visualize timelines. Asana, a smarter way to work. Try it for free today at asana.com.
Like, let's be clear here. So we're trying to make it seem like because she may have agreed to a freak off here and there, that she couldn't have got tired and wanted more for her life and her relationship. How many people have been in a relationship and they did things because they wanted to, and they realized their partner wanted to, but then they realized, wait, hold on. This is all we're doing. This is starting to be all that you want me for. And what I liked about it, I don't like it anymore because now I'm starting to realize
You
that
said
hey,
they dress like they left prom.
this is the only
You said they
thing
dress like they left prom.
that is consistent about our relationship. And I'm kind of like, well, hold on, let's dial it back. And then when I try to dial that back, it becomes an issue for you. Then you're hitting me on top of that. But then it's okay for you to have other women. But then if I start dating, I'm getting beat up.
That's dumb.
But you got Gina, you got your wife, your kid's mom that you really, really love. And now I'm waking up one day, maybe I was with the freak offs one day. Then I realized, well, hold on. The Kim Porter lady's never leaving. And there's a new girl that's coming, Gina. And I done been here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nigga, what are we doing? Why am I still dealing with just, I'm getting my ass whooped. I'm doing drugs with you, like. And I can't even really live a regular life, and now you telling me that this woman is the love of your life. I'm over this. But people want it to be like Cassie was just as equally as wrong. Do I think that she had something to play in it? Yes. But we're not going to sit up here and act like she was just dating a random guy that just didn't have any power. Like, at some point, I do believe that she couldn't leave. And I say that to say, why do we act like we haven't been in relationships where we know that shit is over? But it's still very hard to leave. Some of y'all right now can't leave that nigga. Don't even live with him. But for whatever reason, you can't leave. And everybody, all your friends think you should just leave that mother. Leave him. Bro, you so stupid, leave him. But it's not that easy. But for her, it's just so easy. And I think people are making it a bad thing when it's saying, well, you know, Cassie was only here for the come up, this and that. First of all, a lot of people, it's not just for the come up, it's for everything. When you date a man, if you date a woman, whatever, there needs to be a value. Am I going to go pick a bum off the street and say I want to be with you? I don't know. I'm probably not. Ain't you going to say, don't you got requirements for a man? Wouldn't you want a man that makes good money, has a nice job, can marry you, buy you a house, or create opportunities? Ain't that standard? But see, the problem is, people are mad because Cassie was able to pull a 1%er that a lot of people will never be able to touch. But everybody hopes to pull somebody that's financially stable, that can provide opportunities. Why the hell is that a problem? What is the problem with that? Let's not act like he didn't want her because she gave him a look. Because if that was the case, why didn't you stay with the mother of your children? She's the love of your life. But in my opinion, she's the love of his life, but she wasn't a trophy enough. So let's not act like if we're going to go the using route, it was a use for use. Because even after these other girls, Gina, Jane, there was Young Miami. She's 30 years old. This man is 55. He wanted trophy bitches. Let's be clear. And these girls wanted a daddy with some money. So let's be clear on that. So that was mutual. And damn it, I would have went too. Ain't that why you work hard as a man? To be able to do your thing? And don't you as a woman want to be like, oh, okay, you know, boom. I would love to attract a powerful man. Why is that a problem? You know, he has opportunities for me, and I like him though. I like him too. I like all of it. I like the fact that he has money. power, but I'm attracted to him as well. Let's not act like we felt like Cassie was just there for the money, because that would have burned out. Many of us feel that Cassie was still in love with him. You're not just there for the money for 11 years, getting you out swooped. Because she was also getting opportunities outside of him, and she was doing her own little thing. So she definitely did love him. And so I can't just be like, oh, she was just there for the money. But at the same time, what I don't think that she knew that she was just a trophy. And once she let her guard down and got involved with the freak off, that was the Pandora's box that was forever open. And now the coercion begins. And then let's just be clear. The coercion, in my opinion, begins because, or can we really talk, or are we gonna act like we can't talk? It begins because, I don't know about you, but right away, nigga, who's going back to Jake at State Farm? After I've been with Diddy and Turks and Caicos. I've been to the Met. Wait, hold on. Let's try to work this out. Wait, I know you hit me and shit is like, I'm trying to, what's happening here? Okay, well, that was just one time he did it, okay? Because my God, he hit me, man, I get it. But shit, Jesus. You know, he knocked the shit out of me, but my God, I mean, I do need this Cartier bracelet, and the career is on the line. There's a lot going on. I can't go back. He loved me. Some of y'all getting hit for free. And still broke. Okay? Like, let's really stop. But he knew that. So you tie that into, in my opinion, you tie that into, well, you know, I'm Diddy. You want a career? I'm on top. Let's not act like he wasn't at the top of his game when he was with Cassie. Where's she going? Capricorn Clark. She did all that. But she tried to go back and get her job back. People say, well, Capricorn's a liar. She's a joke. How? That job wanted her to be in the south of France with Rihanna. Now when she tried to get other jobs, she couldn't even get other jobs. People saying she can just go work anywhere. Who the hell wants to go work at Target after you done been working at Bad Boy Records? You done bossed your life up. Now you gotta go flip burgers at Taco Bell. Now you doing Uber Eats and DoorDash after you was an executive for Fat Farm or wherever the hell it is.
Jesus.
You know what I'll tell myself? Fuck that turkey bacon. Just give me my life back. Sometimes it gets like that. So yeah, but that's where the manipulation comes, because he knows that money, once you get people accustomed to that, and you get people wrapped enough in your web, you can control them and make them do whatever you want them to do, because they've been accustomed to a certain type of lifestyle, and they've occurred certain things. Like, how do you become a person and then of status and all of these things and just think, oh yeah, I'm just gonna just forget it all? Like, that's not real life. That's not real life. That's not real life. That's not real life. And he knows that. He knew that. Same thing with Jane Doe. Jane Doe is a complete hoe. She's the only one that's a little mucky and murky to me. Because if we know what we know about Jane Doe, then you know. But Jane Doe, to me, she started out that way. You an Instagram model, then you trying to pivot to OnlyFans, so you been a goer. She's the only one that I'm a little bit like, girl, please. Because it's like, well, it was all good until you felt like the other girl's bag was $2,000 more than yours. See, Jane Doe was about the material things. That was the one that was about material. She was trying to get back at her baby daddy, and she was still trying to flex on the. She wanted the Met Gala moment. She wanted the clout. She wanted the influencer Instagram Kim K. She wanted that. If anybody wanted that. But at the same time, he knew that she wanted that. He played into that. But now you got her accustomed to this lifestyle, whether it was trying to get back at her baby father or just to keep her under your web. But now because she was your best freak off buddy, because she started off as a hoe. Let's start there. And she thought, let me get my way in here, and I'm gonna be Cassie. And then I'm gonna shit on my baby daddy with this one. Because why? I can't go back. And I'm only getting $47 measly $100 a month from this nigga. Well, okay, so I'm gonna get with Diddy. But Diddy said, okay, I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna have all these different girls because you just a box. But at the same time, when you start complaining because now you realize I got other girls, let me get you a place, baby. Okay, well, and he knows that she's a dummy and a goer and a hoe, and she got to make sure that she have the thing better than everybody else. So she got to look, well, look, he's paying for our place, so she gonna get something for $10,000 a month, fine. But I'll get this hoe. Now, suck it. Get banged out every day. Sores and all, UTIs and all. You want the place, right? Then she decided she wanted to start falling in love. Once she did that, she was getting upset. But then, this is where he's wrong, though. She just left her. She left her. But what you did to get what you wanted...
Yeah.
We can break
You
up.
say 1026, right?
But you know what that meant?
Yeah.
I'm not going to just outright say it.
We back on my
But,
thing.
you know that place you got? That was making you feel fast? That was making you feel so good? Yeah, that's my place. So we'll stop paying. We'll hold it over your head. It went from that to then, once the feds got involved in 2024, because I know somebody in that gonna say, well, he's still paying her rent. Shut up, dummy. He's paying her rent because he didn't want her ass to talk. He wanted her to disappear like Gina, but she didn't. If he could have, he'd have been stopped paying her rent. Let's be clear, the rent continued to get paid because he thought that was going to have her on his side. Jane Doe was a nut job. And they both played each other. Let's be clear. Okay? But if we're just going to talk about the facts, this is why Jane Doe can go either way. But you can still find the trafficking in Jane Doe, because we're not going to sit up here and act like this man doesn't know his power and doesn't know his money. We're not going to act like he doesn't know why people are here. And you know, when you talk to people, how to read between the lines. And I think it trips me out when we get on here and we act like we haven't been talked to, or we haven't had to read between lines in our own personal lives. Like everything has to be so black and white, and you don't even live in a clear black and white communicative world. You don't. But when it comes to somebody else's business, we got it all figured out. She wasn't trafficked. She was still manipulated. Granted, She's a little shaky, I ain't gonna lie. Because, girl, in my opinion, you kind of knew what you signed up for. You signed up to be the hoe. But Didi, once you start to see that she was a knockout crasher, you shouldn't have went and got her that house. Just let her go. Because that's what they're using. Because now she was able to say, oh, well, he used the house. Because at some point he did start using the house. But what she did was she started finding an angle to be upset and not want to do the freak-offs anymore. She did want to stop doing the freak-offs because the other girls are getting more. So she did. But just because she did that does not change or negate the fact that he did not want to stop having the freak-offs with her. And in order to continue to get her to do the freak-offs, you held the house payment over her head. You did. You literally did. Because at that point, she's completely away from her baby father.